Hey everyone, Kane here, and in this video we're gonna talk about the new feature called the Armory. So, in this new feature, we get stats for our entire field. That means units, that means heroes, that means dragons, and then we're able to even add more stats in terms of just upgrading the thing, equipping a set, and a lot of other things. Now, this isn't gonna be like a guide video or stuff like that. This is just gonna be my opinions on the event, or rather feature in general, and essentially what the sets can do, what they will be able to do, and etc. So currently I am using the elephant set, or am trying to use the elephant set. So the thing about it is I have, let's say, or rather, when I play Lich, majority of my field is Lich skeletons, the skeleton warriors, and they don't really have any ranged units. So for me, it's better to have a shield based on HP percent instead of a few others than to have a full set to even increase more HP, more attack for my entire field. Then I put on the battle axe and the rest of like the elephant set. So this one I do have gladiators, but I don't field all of them. So in the very near future, probably a couple of months ahead, I will have like level 70 glads, and I will add a couple more glads while I'm playing Rakan. So this would also kind of help me in PvP in terms of what it's able to do. Then we have the elephant. Wait, what? Why is this a helmet when it's literally an entire armor? That is the question. And it says armor, and then it says helm. What? Okay, never. Wait. Why does why does it say armor on this one and it says helm on what? Okay, never mind. I just got confused, man. What? Probably an issue with the translation. So at the start of the battle, summon a giant elephant stomp at the ground at one random enemy ranged troop location, pushing the enemies back, reducing attack speed. Now, I'm not sure. There were some talks that some stuff only procs on frontline. I'm not entirely sure if this thing procs on the backline or not. But the thing is, it procs on the enemy, I suppose, range troops. So do keep in mind that people usually have hero DPS close to the ranged army. So the radius is rather quite small, probably will only fit majority of the archer squad, and if not, likely to touch DPS heroes. Now there is another thing with I suppose these abilities, so we're first gonna check the elephant set. So when we go onto the forge, we can upgrade stuff that will unlock some features, additional buffs. Then it will unlock stuff in terms of the skills on the equipment. And while you're upgrading the forge here as well, it will unlock slots, and then you get to put more stuff on the equipment. But first, or rather more so, we're just gonna inspect the skills for now. So this is the basic skill when you unlock it at 1 star, and at 2 star, this I suppose at the start of the battle, shield will last for 12 seconds, and at 5 star, the increased damage absorbed by the shield is equivalent to 15% of the unit's max HP. Now, I'm not entirely sure. There are speculations that one of the two shields, so I believe either the elephant one or the rhino one, affects like the entire squad. So for example, literally every unit gets this percentage, or you have something like this, right? A percent, like 6%, and then it's divided towards all of the units. So that 6% will not go 6% on every unit, but then it will be like less than 1% for every unit or stuff like that. I'm not entirely sure. There's like speculations that one of these like this one is better than the other one, you know, there's stuff like that, so I'm not 100% certain. So if we would check this shield for now, so it starts with 7.5% of their total HP, lasts 8 seconds, then it is increased to 20 seconds, but you don't really need that. It's gonna be procced in the first 5 to 10 seconds, 100% wherever it's placed. And then the Rhino Barrier's HP increased to 16%. So yeah, so it's I suppose, well, even this one, it says total HP of all affected troops, so assumingly this affects every single unit in that squad, while the other one is likely divided across them. So it's very hard to judge some of these abilities. And then of course you have like these mini abilities once you reach 4 or 6 star. But likely the way that they're giving, and likely the way that it's increasing stuff like that, we're unlikely to actually upgrade this probably to 4 or 6 stars in the first half a year or whatever. Because man, like the way they even gave stuff for the furnace level, it's crazy how little it kind of seemed like. So we didn't check the last one. So the Lionheart Shield, after 30 seconds into the battle, grants 3 gladiator heroes with the lowest HP a shield of 10% of their max HP. Now the thing about this is it depends which side of the enemy you meet. So if you meet burst versus burst, basically you're not gonna have heroes after the first 10, 15, 20 seconds. So this 30 seconds literally doesn't really matter that much. So let's see. Increase the damage absorbed to 20. So this only increases the shield. Increase the damage absorbed to 36. Yeah, so basically this doesn't really assist you that much. Like, I'm not even joking. It doesn't really assist you that much. At least from the fights that I had and am having, this wouldn't really help me one bit. Now, these two with the shields of HP and stuff like that, if I am facing their stall side, these two could actually help my stall side to tank their burst side, right? So this would have a pretty decent use if lucky, and this one likely wouldn't even use it at all. So do keep in mind there's some differences. So now comes to the weapons or axes or whatever, there is a very huge variety. So since I'm using elephant set, basically this grants my gladiator heroes, or will grant every few attacks, the next basic attack will cut the melee troop target, dealing HP percent damage. Now the thing about this is that some heroes have area of attack basic attacks. So that can be Solaris, that can be Denji. I'm not sure if Bane's basic attack is treated as AoE, that I suppose trigger thing. Balrog, I think, has area basic attack, and etc. etc. So kind of questionable whether or not this will touch like some sort of mini area of effect, and if it does, this could actually be a pretty good PvP DPS weapon. So at least that is what I'm kind of going to. But of course, this can really change, this can really be different, and this can be bad. But you know, without testing, without upgrading, without looking at stuff, it's really hard to tell. So the skill at 2 star upgraded to 0.9%, which is pretty friggin' decent. And it says of heroes max HP. So basically, if you have gladiators with like 50 million HP, yeah, 50 million, 1% of their HP is like what, 500,000? I think? Yeah, I think so. So 500,000 damage attack. yeah, it does seem to be pretty friggin' strong, considering the fact if it does proc on like a Denji's area of effect or Solaris area of effect, that can actually be some pretty friggin' burst damage. Like, I'm not gonna lie. So the cut now is triggered for every 7 basic attacks. Now the thing is, majority of the time we don't really know the attack speed of the targets. Basically, for 12 attacks to proc, usually you will have to wait probably like 6 to 7 seconds for the gladiators. 7 attacks likely take every 3 seconds, but again, something like Denji, that crab just does like 3 or 4 attacks every second, so it could proc this so friggin' quickly so many times that likely Denji could even be the next DPS. Now, of course, we have Chakra. Targets affected by cut now take 40%. Wow, this could be pretty friggin' good. The next cut already will deal double damage, so this can be like friggin' 1.8% of the hero's HP. Every gladiator hero can now inflict 2 consecutive cuts. So basically, from melee troops, you don't really have melee troops dealing a lot of damage. So what you can do is the next cut inflicted on targets will deal double damage. So basically, if you pair it with this, it will deal 0.9 plus 1.8, so a total of 2.7% heroes max HP damage. 2.7%. Now again, if this procs on area damage like Denji, my friggin' god, this would be epically overpowered. And then you have inflicting cut, gladiator hero gains permanent attack speed boost. Well, this is also good because this will make the stuff proc a lot faster. But then again, it won't really have a double cut, so I probably will try like this because this seems like a pretty huge burst and kind of would, I suppose, help clear the army, the melee army, or the dragon, or the heroes and stuff like that. But this seems even more powerful than I kind of imagined. Now this Rhino Hammer, at the start of the battle, initiate Fury for one random friendly ranged troop covering a circular area, something like a pet buff with an area of 5, so it's a bit smaller, increasing attack speed of all friendly units in the area. So I assume just for that one squad, likely 45% for 7 seconds. So this is good for PvE content. So at 2-star turns to 16 seconds, which is pretty powerful. At 5-star, 75%, which is pretty friggin' powerful, at least for PvE content. So a radius increased to basically the same range as the pet buff, maybe a bit higher or bigger. Additional 80%. Wow, so this is just, well, it kind of reduces to 0 over the next. Not that good. I'd say this is a lot better, likely covers full squad, and if it does affect other units, it could likely affect a couple of squads, likely affect more, at least in PvE, likely could even touch heroes in PvP. Activates at the start of the battle, change to activates at the start of the battle. Oh, so this was a one-time effect. So basically at 6 stars, it can activate every 30 seconds. My god. Rhino Fury, what? Oh, so basically you either have this proccing every 30, well, at the start and every 30 seconds, or you have this appear at the very start of the battle on 2 range squads, so you can likely cover almost an entire backline worth, depending if you have like archers on 2 sides. Pretty good, not gonna lie. And the last one, the Lionheart Lens. So every 5 active skill usages grants an effect to all rogue heroes, permanently increasing physical damage by 5%, max 3 stacks. So 2-star 10%, 5-star 25. So this can actually be 75% increased physical damage. Now we do have Avrils, we do have I do believe Raxius, we have Rufios. We're spamming their skills, so this can actually stack up rather quite quickly in the very beginning. So with this particular set, likely rogues could actually be part of the meta again, but again, you're gonna have to even use mages, you're gonna have to use Rufio, all that kind of stuff to actually be able to prog this very quickly and profit from it. Though do keep in mind, it says all a rogue hero, so that means Saizo, that means Bazrik, that means Palace, and I do believe that's pretty much it. I don't think any others actually really do that much damage. I'm not sure if Mako can do any damage, but again, questionable. So the skill is triggers every 3 active skill usages. So this can literally reduce it by so much that basically after the beginning, or even in like the total of 10 to 15 seconds, you're gonna have this maxed. Or increase the stack so you can have like friggin' 100% if you chose that. Lionheart bonus effect 25. So this would stack up to like friggin' 100% if you would add this, or 75, or max stacks 2. So basically you would be able to fully stack to 150% or so if you chose these two, but likely I would just choose this, triggers every 3, and then likely plus 2 stacks or attack speed. So basically you would have 75% damage and 75% attack speed, or you would have 125% physical damage. Now, again, testing would be required, so there's a lot of nuances of such, I guess, you know. Have to really test, and without it, it's just like an opinion, a speculation, and whatever. And now for the armor. So I did talk about this, and the skill at 2-star, it increases the attack speed reduction to 50%. Now this is actually pretty good for PvP. If this effect lands on the archers, you reduce their attack speed by a pretty decent amount. If it scratches heroes like, let's say, Valerie or Tisafin or Sizer or whatever, it kind of reduces a lot of their DPS potential for a pretty decent amount of time. If it's on Valerie and you actually use Valerie for like majority of your DPS, this can actually just mean game over. And at 5-star, the radius increased to 8. So skills reduces the target's outgoing damage against heroes and dragons. This is decent. Reduces against troops. So either heroes or dragon or troops. Now depending on the formation, I would likely pick up the one for heroes and dragon. Majority of my issues lie when the archers happen to kill my dragon. And now for the 6-star, activate and every 30 seconds, and one more stomp. So basically this activates multiple times, or you literally have to at the very beginning, meaning essentially you can touch like majority of the backline, which in the end, if you have one moment, if you have the 5-star, that increases the range or the radius, and you have this, basically you are able to touch a few ranged heroes plus the friendly backline army and stuff like that. Honestly, this is why I kind of chose it. It, for me, for PvP in general, kind of seems pretty good. I don't think that like the Rhino set would help me a lot in PvE. Well, it would help me in PvE, but I don't think the PvP potential is as powerful. I mean, at least from what it is written on the abilities, it doesn't really seem like it's powerful, but again, we have to actually check how the skills perform, because like even the Void Eater, right, that 6% of target's HP doesn't seem powerful, but apparently grants invincibility. So it's not written, so some of these effects may even be like giving different effects for all we know. So basically what I'm just working through is the descriptions of the equipment. So the Rhino Armor and not a helm. Start of the battle, Rhino Warhammer, random enemy melee location, I think somebody said, covering an area, reducing movement speed and attack speed, because movement and attack speed is exactly the same, and critical evasion and critical resistance by 6%, radius increased, and then crit resist and crit damage reduction. Penetration targets damage from heroes increased. Well, this is pretty good. Damage increased from heroes and dragons. So yeah, that's pretty good. Now it comes to the, I suppose, question: which penetration? Is it physical penetration? Is it magical? It just says damage from heroes increased. So it just adds damage taken. So is damage taken the penetration ability? Like, there's a lot of nuances where this can be confusing now. Then inflicts penetration from troops, not really that powerful, I guess. But it can be used as well. Activates at the start of the battle, or two of them. So likely I would use two of them at the beginning. Majority of the battles are sorted at the very beginning. Then we have Lionheart Armor. Start the battle, summon the Lion King to bellow. A melee troop, location at the end. Width is 4 units, which is very little. Pushing the enemies back for 3 seconds. Now, from what I was told, that this does not work. I'm not entirely sure if this is true. Somebody tested this and told me it doesn't work. So based on that, likely I'm gonna say it's not that good at the moment, but if people find it to work, do let me know in the comments down below. So the width is increased by 50%, so that's from 4 to 2, and then duration increased to 5 seconds. Doesn't really seem that powerful, but if it push like the backline and reduce the attack speed and etc., then likely could be okay. Stuns enemies. Now this, I suppose stunning is good. I like stunning. This is pretty bad. Activates at the start of the battle or 2. So you would likely, if you use this, pick up the stun duration and then another one. So in such a case, you're likely to stun a lot more units and could potentially reach heroes and stun them too. A lot of nuances, a lot of considerations, whether or not they affect some of the heroes. Like, again, a lot of variation, a lot of variables, a lot of things that this feature kind of brings, and a lot of, I suppose, differences that most fields will actually be placing, because majority of the time now we only had like artifacts, reliquary stele, not very much like differences in general, right? It was just artifacts like reliquary stele, perhaps dragons, and that was pretty much it. Like majority of the time you feel like the same stuff, same abilities, except for some passive stats being different. Now this has a whole other type of different abilities that you can pick from, and it will have a pretty huge variety in terms of PvP. Now, probably this video is like already 15 to 20 minutes long, and we've only scratched the surface. So basically, we have all the armament attributes just from upgrading, and the past couple of days, I literally increased like 20% on everything. 20%! And that is just crazy. And do keep in mind, this is level 1 furnace, right? Level 2, after we reach so friggin' many stones, this is like friggin' 90 days of daily quests. 90 days to reach level 2. And as far as I'm aware, it doubles after every level. Until level 4 or level 5, so it's crazy how much of these materials you require to level up. So this feature is probably the same level as Temple for all we know. Tier 2, useless. Tier 3, makes your dragons rather quite strong. Their ability, power, their healing, their damage, their HP, attack, everything is increased. Stats increased by 30, pretty good. Now this tier 4, all friendly heroes attributes by 15. So a person who's going to have this, assumingly, you can imagine that you get 60 stats per hero. So if there's like 40 heroes, I think, basically you get 2,400 stats. So likely like 600 to each stat. 600 magic, 600 might, 600 command, whatever. So this is incredibly powerful if I do understand that it increases all of these, right? Then we have increases building and research, so we can predict that actually the Castle 55 is coming. Then garrison, then friendly units, and then from tier 9 it literally starts increasing attack and HP for your entire account, meaning units, heroes, dragon by 40% attack and HP. So basically that's 40, 80, 120, 60, 200, 240% additional stuff. This is friggin' crazy. Like, this is even more insane than friggin' Temple, and I'm not gonna lie. So this is probably one of the newest, most crazy money things that, like, if people are not going to whale in this, don't expect to not actually like be able to compete in the very high-end PvP. Like, this is friggin' crazy. Now, after all of this, we have slots. So basically you unlock slots as you upgrade the stars as well. So when you upgrade the stars, you unlock some skills and some stuff in here, but at the same time you unlock some of the passives on here, right? Even passives. And then you unlock slots. So from doing the dailies and stuff like that, we're able to randomly acquire level 0 stones, which eventually we are able to improve. Currently, I have no idea how this scaling goes, how well they are improving, what percentage or whatever. So there are various types, and various gears have different colors at tier 2 or rank 2. So for example, this is like an orange one. I only have one orange. Decreases friendly dragons damage taken by 2.5%. Basically this is both physical and magical resistance, right? So it's pretty good. My dragon is dying rather quite easy, so I kind of chose to pick that. Unfortunately, I don't have boxes, but every single box has 4 choices. So it can have, let's say, friendly troops critical rate and critical damage, or accuracy, or attack, or HP, something like that. So I don't really need attack, I don't really need accuracy, I don't really need HP on my friendly troops. Essentially, I would need crit rate or crit damage. Though again, do keep in mind that some of these have attack speed. Now attack speed I kind of do want to get, since my archers have like almost three attacks per second. I want to make it closer to 4. So I'm gonna try and check how much attack speed I'm able to get from here for the army. And then I have heroes attack percent. Like, for now, this is what I kind of chose. I'm not entirely sure if this is the best percentages yet. And this video is not about like breaking down this entire thing just for the best way to go. This is a very new feature. Give or take 1 or 2 weeks for many people to break the event down, and then I will likely release a pretty decent guide in what to upgrade, what is better, what may be bugged, and for what the particular equipments can be used. Now again, likely this video is about 30 minutes long, so we're just gonna stop it there and eventually come up with and a lot smaller, or rather less time consuming video, and cover the feature in full later on. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Do let me know in the comments down below, what do you think of the feature? Is it incredibly high pay to win? Are you going to plan on spending? And also, if you plan on spending, I highly suggest for you to wait at least 1 to 1.5 months, because like the amount you're able to get now is so friggin' little that it's irrelevant. Like if we go to sets and let's check, it should be here, right? You get like this is irrelevant. $5 for this shit? Like this is crazy how, like, this isn't even budging the furnace level, right? You're gonna need to spend $50, right, to get like 8,000 of this, right? And let's just go back for me to just show you the difference, right? So if you spend $50, you get 8,000 of these stones. 8,000. So this 5k will turn to 13. Like, do you see the difference? What kind of a sing this is? So I suggest for you to wait like 1 to 1.5 months. Otherwise, it's just gonna be crazy. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Do let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care and stay safe out there.